Yeah, my gut says go with that. Repair these mechs and just move on to the next objective. That will help pay for the expenditures, as long as it doesn't take more than 13 days, of course. So this is only taking 3 days. The Centurion apparently didn't get very damaged at all. So start. This is going to be the one that might take the longest. Okay, it's only 6 days. That's not too bad. 8 days. 5 days. Okay, that's all within the scope of what time we have. So you take a look at home. We do have a incoming target of opportunity. All right, the mission is straightforward. I'm going to drop you as close as I can to the target without spooking him. I need to locate and eliminate him once you're on the ground. After that's done, I'll fly in and we'll exit together. With the heightened tensions we're seeing, you should expect plenty of security on the ground. That means plenty of opposition. Well, we will accept this, just so we know where it is. So this is at that location, which may not have been shown to us before. Okay, so it's clear over here. That's going to take us a while to get around to. Definitely. I would like to upgrade our company before then anyway, so I think the game plan that I have set forth, which is to go here, do this contract, and then maybe go over to the industrial zone. I don't know how many jumps away that's going to be, but I would imagine no more than 2. We get over here, we see what we can do. There's not a lot of contracts nearby this location. We could probably go over to Cassius here and do whatever contract that is and kind of work our way towards this high reward mission, perhaps. This is a 5 reputation area, so it's just going to be not much different than the one we're already in. But I don't really see, unless we just want to stick in this area. There aren't really very many industrial zones in this area that we see at the moment, which kind of worries me a little bit. This area, we're fairly close. But the further we get over here, we're going to have the same problem we have over here, whereas I don't really see any other industrial zones. There's one all the way over here. Interestingly enough, this is not in a conflict zone, and yet there's still contracts. It's the first time I think I've seen that. But in any case, let's just go with the game plan. I think this is not a bad game plan. As long as we pay for going there, I think we'll be fine. The biggest problem I feel like we're having right now is that we are having the opportunities to salvage some decent medium mechs, but we don't have the shares to do it. So we either have to get our reputation up or get a faction to like us more, which I think we're kind of doing both. As a matter of fact, I think it's under operations. Yeah, I mean, we're really getting up there in reputation with House Davian. Right now, Karita doesn't really like us, so if we move over to that location, also House Liao doesn't really like us, but both of those make sense if House Davian really likes us. House Steiner kind of likes us, but we're a little ways away from that. House America's indifferent, but again, we're kind of a ways away from that. Just for those of you that aren't as familiar with the game or the lore, Draconis Combine's right here, House Liao is the green right there, Merrick's all the way down there, and House Steiner's all the way over there. So we're, you know, these are the two that are the furthest away from us right now. All right, well, in any case, let's go ahead and take a look at the contracts. Hanover Coreward? Yeah. So, Terra is marked. I don't know if you can go there. Oh, no, the Oregons are not there. Oregons were made up. They should be down here. They were made up specifically for Battletech, so they are not lore. They're not part of the canon. If that's the best way to put it. But yeah, as far as I know, none of the periphery states are here. So the Tarians should be down here. The Canopians should be over here. None of those things are. None of those factions are here. There's a couple other periphery states, but if you've played BattleTech, you'd be familiar with those two. So yeah. So but yeah, the BattleTech map is focused on this region right here. Yeah. So I don't know if this is something that maybe they plan to expand, because the stars are there. You could travel here. Would New Vandenberg, where'd New Vandenberg be? That'd be the capital. Well, I recognize this system. That one. I'm not sure where New Vandenberg would be, but that would be within Turian space. One thing that I find very interesting while we're talking about the map, and I've talked about this before, there's Solaris. So the question is there anything on Solaris? I really hope so, but I have a feeling no. In any case, let's go ahead and take a look at our contracts. So 13 difficulty, I expect 160 ton drop weight. It is indeed that. Okay. So we've got 9 points to spend. We can put 3 into the salvage. I figure we might as well. I'll put 1 there, and then 5 into our pay. So pay is going to come out to 848,000 plus 62 for the base pay. We have 8 shares of salvage, which we'll only be able to salvage the lighter end mechs, and then 172,500 for the typical damage coverage. Okay, we found a facility on Sakhara 3, producing steel and, among other things, mech armor. Go and destroy it. Make sure there's nothing left to rebuild from. They may be. It depends. A lot of that is up to Catalyst Games, which is the ones that own rights to the tabletop game. Mostly, only stuff that's put out through them is usually canon, like, as far as I understand. Okay, so this is where we have to do our math. If we were to use the Shadowhawk, what would fit into 160 tons? We already know that the Centurion, the Assassin, and 2 light mechs at 35 tons would fit. I am afraid that if I use the Shadowhawk, we'd have to go with a lot lighter mechs to be able to pull that off. So with the tonnage of this, I honestly think maybe we back to the Centurion here. Before I do that, though, I am going to want to open up the Centurion and make sure that it has the weapon groups make sense. Yeah, it looks okay to me. Okay, so if that's the game plan, I don't think this is a bad loadout for this particular difficulty. So we'd want the either the Phoenix Hawk or the Assassin. Either one would be applicable. The Phoenix Hawk is a little bit more sturdy, so I think we stick with that. Then we go the Panther and the Jenner. I think that's been a fairly competent lance for us. Oh, we're 5 tons over. Where did I... Oh, yeah, that's right. The Assassin is only 4 tons, isn't it? Yeah, okay. It's part of Reach. Okay. So there's a lot of opportunity for expansions and stuff here, which I kind of maybe expect will happen at some point. If these things aren't going to be in the game, and I'm kind of like making a guess here, I'm assuming there's nothing with Solaris. I'm just going to assume. That's one of the expansions I'd like to see. I know a lot of people are going to want to have the clans come in, but I want them to expand upon what they have before we get to that point, because the Inner Sphere itself hasn't been fleshed out yet. So I'd like to see Solaris be fleshed out, because MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries had Solaris tournaments. So I'd like to have, you know, you be able to do the Gladiator stuff and Solaris. That'd be really cool. So I'd like to have expansion with that. I'd like to see expansions with the periphery states, if at all possible. Whether they cost money or they're free, we'll see, but I expect that they'd probably do so. Yeah, I expect Solaris is not in this game at the moment, but it wouldn't be hard, I think, for them to implement it. They just have to come up with the maps, really, and then obviously they'd have to program the scenario. But really, it's just mech on mech fighting, which I wouldn't think would be too hard to set up. It'd just really be designing the maps, and depending on how they want to do it. MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries only use 3 maps. They use the jungle, they use the factory, and they use the Coliseum. Technically, there's 5 major arenas. Whether they do all 5 is up to them. But that's where the goalpost is right now. Is at least 3. So, alright, anyways, let's go ahead and get in the mission. Now, the factions, I'm not sure how much that would really add, other than just having more stuff that you can get reputation up with. Wouldn't necessarily add gameplay, whereas the Solaris stuff would, in my opinion.
Our target is an industrial complex marked on your tactical
Okay, similar
display.
map to last time.
Our employer wants it gone, and we aim to please.
All right.
Light that complex up like a New Year's celebration.
We want to go off this
Commander.
way, looks like. Just follow this path off to the west, and then hook to the right. We'll be right there. Who's shooting at me? Somebody shooting at me? It's a little misty on this one. Alright, so I'm just going to keep peeking at this until we know that I can make a right here. Oh. Gonna be on the other side of that rock. I don't know if there's gonna be a path this way, so I'm somewhat hesitant to go this way. Or we could just hit him with the AC-10 and have him die immediately. That helps too. Okay, where are we at? Alright, we got some enemy up in front. Can't really see what I'm looking at right now because of the mist. Ow. Thank you, Panther. Alright, where are we at now? Oh, I went past it. Damn it. Fixated on killing the enemy. We need to hang a left here. Okay. Yeah, but having this bigger map has really helped me. When I first started playing this game, I didn't know how to activate that, so oftentimes we get lost in the maps. Okay. Try and use some advanced strategy. One of these days I'll try and remember. Oftentimes I get caught in the heat of the moment, I forget all about it. But our left arm isn't really all that valuable, so we can kind of do that. You get that autocannon there. We wouldn't be able to use any of the other stuff because that's all center torso, but autocannon so far the most, effective weapon I have.
There it is. I'll leave the rest of the demolition job up to you, Commander. Yeah.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Alright.
They're operating at reduced efficiency. Keep on smashing.
Destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Alright. Oh, that was the Panther. I was like, what's firing a PPC next to me? Okay, enemy in here.
Target acquired.
Integrity of this place is down to 50%. We're halfway there. Enemy destroyed.
Ah. Die already. Okay, enemy mech off to the right. Oh. Hello. Good hit. Oh, that was a big explosion right in my face. Alright. What are you doing, buddy?
Target eliminated. This area is on its last legs, Commander. Just one final push, and then we can all go home.
Oh, we got some helicopters.
Target acquired.
Ah, tried for it.
The facility's gone cold. All power signatures gone. No one's going to be able to utilize this complex for quite a bit.
Ah, damn it.
Time to get out of here, Commander.
Alright, where is the extract? Or this way? Okay, not far away. Take that. He also lost that. Okay. Kind of missed the speed of the Shadowhawk, though. I think that max speed of 81 kilometers is kind of a good.
Acquired.
Welcome back, Commander. Stand by for extraction.
There's a medium mech out there. Oh no, I misread that. Oh well, doesn't matter. Okay. Spider, we'll take that because it'll be worth it. Let's see what else we got. Jump jets. Wait, oh, no, not share cost. Value. Yeah, it looks like the medium laser is going to be the thing. I have a lot of medium lasers at this point. I might think about getting rid of them. Normally, I like to have a decent store of medium lasers, but with this game, it's a lot harder to put an absolute ton of medium lasers on something like you can in BattleTech, because they really limit how much you can modify stuff. Okay. Wow, the Panther really avoided a lot of damage. So far, the Panther has been one of the most effective mechs that we've been using, and I don't know why, because it shouldn't really be. Maybe that PPC is more valuable than I would normally think. The Assassin didn't do a whole lot. It also took quite a bit of damage. And the Jenner didn't do a whole lot. Alright. Well, I mean, the Panther, I think we're going to probably keep using then, if it's being that effective. Okay. Well, I figure at this point we just go ahead and get to that industrial zone. The Spider will probably just end up selling, but I don't feel like we need to do that right this second. So let's just go to Star Map. See how bad the jumping is. Yeah, it's only 20 days. That's not too bad. We do have a rare mech here, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that. We have another hero mech over there. Okay, well, let's go ahead and travel. I don't see a reason why not. Okay, set course. So we're almost up to 4 million, which is pretty good. You can buy a decent medium mech for that kind of money. We'll probably do very limited contracts. Times are fixed. Yeah, but the point that reason why I said that is I didn't know how many jumps it would be. That sometimes has been hard to predict. Ooh, we've got a rare Panther variant. Let's see what's so rare about it. It is the same as any other Panther. Is it just because it's intact? That's the same variant we already have. Is it not? Yeah, it's a 9R. So I guess what's rare about it is that it's completely intact. Most other mechs have taken some kind of damage. Alright. Oh, it could mount rare tech. I don't know if I understand that. Ah. Yeah, but it's a 9R. It's... Yeah, I'm not sure I'm getting that concept. Like, what's the difference between one 9R and another? You tell me it can install rare tech. I don't get how that works. That sounds like a bunch of nonsense, honestly. There's no concept of that makes any sense in the lore whatsoever. That sounds like a concept I'm not really sure I like, but alright. In any case, anything cool here? A blackjack wouldn't be bad. Which variant is it? It's a standard blackjack, BJ1. it's not all that damaged either. It's mostly just armor. Okay. This is where I'm starting to like, you know, sometimes I'm struggling with this game a little bit because of the just like the tabletop lore kind of stuff, and it's like this game is different, and it's fine if it's different. It's fine. I'm not not bitching about it. It just like the idea that you'd have the same variant mech and one can rare equipment and the other one couldn't. That doesn't make any sense. What makes that Panther special? It's the same variant. I'd get it if it was a different variant. That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense to me. In any case, I might pick up this blackjack. It's also very cheap. I don't think there's a world where we don't pick this up. Because it'd be nice to have just another 45-ton kicking around. Blackjacks are fairly decent. We might be able to modify it in some way to make it better. I don't know what I would do, to be totally honest with you. Oh, there's a hunchback. Oh, duh. Yeah, I think the hunchback is probably going to scream out more to me, and it's not even that much more expensive. It requires more repairs, and the AC-20 is knocked out, but I think we have an AC-20. Let me check that. I do not have any. Okay. Well, is there one in the store? Not that I see, but let's just double check. There's one, but it's lower quality one. Oh no, here's a standard one right here. They have 4 of them. Yeah, so neither mech would be bad. The main thing that we would have with the blackjack is just minimal repairs, and it's already ready to go. And we have more backup weapons for it, I think. Yeah, we have an AC-2, at least one. So that's something we could swing. I really like the hunchback, but I feel like we have too many mechs that specialize in close range combat. So that's why I'm thinking about not picking up the hunchback. I really like hunchbacks. I think they're solid mechs. They're very good, but I'm not sure if I should take it or not. I have to think about it. Blackjack, I think, is kind of more, we should just take it. Bear in mind that it's a fairly high-risk mech. Punchy, that is. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying with that. Well, like, the big problem with a hunchback is it's got paper-thin rear armor, and I'm noticing that the AI doesn't really protect its rear. I don't know if we can really check that kind of stuff here, though. Like, I can't read the numbers here. Okay. We can't afford both, though, so I have to make a choice. Let's first off sell the spider. I'm not going to keep that around. It's very damaged. It's not really worth it at this point, so that's going to get sold. It gives us a little bit more money. We're at 5 million. In theory, I could buy both of them, but I do have to keep in mind that I don't have very many slots left. And I may not be able to use both of them anyway. So I think the blackjack gives us roles that we do not have filled right now, whereas the hunchback kind of doesn't. I should also check to make sure that the repairs aren't going to cost me too much. Also, not only would I have to buy the hunchback, I'd have to buy the AC-20 to replace, so, and do all that. Okay, let's go ahead and do that one. 5 days, pretty decent. 5 days. 1 day. 2 days. Okay. None of that matters. They'll get done in time. Alright. So now we have to make our decision. I could afford both, but I'm leaning towards the blackjack. I want to leave some slots open for maybe something else. I don't think I can up the cannons because of the slot type. I think I already played around with the blackjack, and you can't put anything bigger than a AC-2 on this thing, which is kind of unfortunate. But we'll see. I think I'm leaning towards buying this thing. What I would do is I'd strip the AC2s and probably replace them with a AC5 or something. But I don't think it's going to work. But I still think we pick this up. I think it will be a solid mech in the hands of the AI. Alright. Let's see what we can do with it, though. While we're at it, we might as well paint it. So... I'm not sure what paint scheme I'm going to do, but I'll at least grab the first color here. Alright. Okay, what would look good on a blackjack? Oh, no. The Davian colors don't look too bad. Digital. I don't even really see the fractal design. Hot rod. I don't know. Oh. So Raider just looks like the Davian one without the Davion symbology. The Sherman doesn't look too bad, that color scheme. I kind of like the Sherman for the blackjack. I'm gonna go with that. So, apply. And we'll just get the last couple colors. Amanda Shepard, the back. I mean, these colors are already pretty close to what we use. Just slight variations. Like the whiter will be more white rather than this kind of silvery color. Which honestly will make it pop more in my opinion, so... Probably for the better. Okay. It doesn't look too bad. I'll take it. Alright, now let's actually do the edit loadout here. So obviously we're going to need to repair. I will definitely strip out the jump jets. That'll give us a couple tons to work with. A 1 and a 2 and a 4. Okay. AC2 ammo should probably move away from the center torso. I don't know how ammo explosions work in this game. Because, normally speaking, again, if we were playing normal tabletop rules, I would say it doesn't matter where the ammo is. Because ammo explosions in normal tabletop rules of this era would just kill a mech regardless of where you put it. If you put the ammo in the pinky toe, it would still be enough that it'd blow up the whole damn mech. So, it doesn't really matter where you put it. In this game, it probably does matter. Okay. Yeah, because in the tabletop game, you would have case. I don't know if they use case in MechWarrior Online or what have you. They definitely don't use it in Battletech, the video game, so... So probably want to move this. So let's just experiment. Can we put a different ballistic weapon? Okay, so actually, you know what? I don't know why that did that. Okay. As a matter of fact, you can already tell it's not going to fit because it always shows you what weapons would fit, so you can't fit anything bigger than AC2 in here. Which just is unfortunate. I could replace them and make them machine guns, but I really don't see the point in that. Similar situation here. The biggest weapon I could put in here is a medium laser. Which I don't know if there's really a point in doing that. Can't put any missile weapons in. So, really, I just think we up armor the thing, which... Frankly, we probably don't have a lot of room to do that with, maybe only a ton. So I might stick a single heatsink in here somewhere, and then probably just move the ammo so it doesn't blow up and kill the mech immediately. Okay. So it might be okay to keep the ammo here, is what you're saying? Alright, well, we'll keep it there. It doesn't probably matter. It would just cost me more time and a little bit more money, probably, to move it. Just more time. There's not really a downside one way or the other. But let's go ahead. Obviously, up armor the arms, because most of the firepower is there. The legs have the most room for improvement. Now let's just do left, right torso, max out. Only gonna really fit 1 point there. Not sure if we're gonna be able to max out the legs. Maybe, maybe not. I'd like to get them to at least 40, let's say. Put a couple hit points in the head, and then we'll just kind of even it out until we run out. Like 42 is going to be maybe. There we go. 21 in the head, 42 in the legs. Okay, that works for me. And then we just get 1 ton of heat, a single heat sink. That's one thing about the Blackjack is it does tend to run pretty hot. These medium lasers, with 4 of them, they can generate a decent amount of heat. As I said, AC2 generate a lot more heat in this game with how fast they can fire than with my experience with MechWarrior Online. But again, that's kind of dated experience, so I don't know how much that still applies. Okay, so like that, let's go ahead and situate the weapon groups. I don't like having the medium lasers in different weapon groups. I prefer to have them chain fired. Obviously, it's up to you and your preference. I probably even chain fire the AC2 just so you can consistently fire it. Can I check its heat gen? All right, hold on. I honestly don't know how you do that. I know where you get the cooling. We could probably add it up. The only problem is, does it do it? You know, I'm not sure if they list the heat anywhere. Now that you bring that up. Unless I'm just missing it. How are you able to see that? Like, what part are you looking at? Because I'm not sure I'm following where I'm supposed to be looking for that. 2.25 for AC2, it seemed. Let me look at that. So heat is at 0.4. Yeah, I'm seeing 0.4. So, but the problem is, it's relative to the rate of fire. So you really have to do hardcore math here. You have to go, okay, 60 times 0.4. So that would be the heat per minute. And you also have the heat per second that's cooled. Like, it's really complicated math. And the fact that they don't have... this somewhere as a bar so you can actually see how good the heat generation is kind of an oversight in my opinion. But in theory, you could do the math right. Because if I were to multiply this by 60, well, in theory, it's rounds per minute, so we're worried about cooling per second. So from a second standpoint, if you were firing this thing continuously, this would generate 0.4 heat times 2, so that'd be 0.8 heat. And then the medium lasers, which this is more complicated math because it doesn't evenly get there. But if you think of it from that standpoint, 0.8 heat per second, we can only cool off 1.23. So if you're firing those medium lasers, you're probably going to generate a good amount of heat. I really wish they would have a bar here that would tell you how much heat the damn thing could generate. Medium lasers actually generate 27 heat per laser. Yeah, you're saying for the rate per minute? Yeah. And then you'd have to divide that by... Then you'd have to divide that by the seconds because they're giving you heat cooling per seconds. So yeah, I mean, I think you're going to generate more heat than the heat sinking. Again, I wish that they would put what the maximum heat generated per second was, so you could compare the cooling per second. But yeah, so this can cool what? 60, 70, we'll say 72 for the sake of argument, but it's going to be more than that. 72 heat per minute. Yeah, there you go. You got the thing there, 73.2 heat. So if you think about it, it is a hot running mech. Well, the fact that we have to sit here and do the math, it could be better. Could be better done. All right, that's enough. Oh, wait, hold on. Artwork, yes. Okay, that's enough messing around with that. Okay. And it's even worse with the jump jets. That's the other thing. If you're using the jump jets, it's even worse. And you also have to consider that even moving around generates heat. From what I've seen of playing this game, if you're on a full tilt, full speed, probably is different for different mechs, but like the Centurion that I was piloting before, because that's the one I piloted the most, I was seeing about 8 heat on the bar pretty consistently at that speed. Yeah. In any case, but yeah, but with BattleTech, you can at least do the math to a certain extent. You know, you can look at it and go, okay, I can sink this much heat per turn. This is how much my Alpha Strike is, you know. Yeah, I agree with you. It should be consistent time frame rather than minutes and seconds being different. I agree with you on that. In any case, we're good here. We've done all our repairs and what have you. We have 2.5 million. I really don't think we can afford the punchback, because we just barely be able to buy this. I'd have to sell something to make that purchase happen, and then I'd have to do extensive repairs to it too. So I think we move on. As much as I'd love to pick it up. Oh, before we move, was there anything in the equipment that we really wanted to buy? I might have already picked some things up here. Let's do all. So we have more of these AC5s at quality level 2. We already have 2, so I'm not sure I want to go out of my way to buy those, because there aren't a lot of circumstances where I'm using AC5s at the moment. Maybe that time will come. But right now, that time's not here. I do use a decent number of SRM4s, so I may buy a couple of these. Oh, that reminds me. If I look in my inventory, I have one quality 2 SRM4. I may want to use that. Let me take a look at the Shadowhawk. I think we aren't currently repairing it, so I could do some modification with that while we're here. Might as well. So I could upgrade the medium laser to a higher quality one now that I have one. So I think that's in order. And then one of these SRM4s could be upgraded to the higher quality as well while we're at it. The head one's probably the most protected. I've got a lot of armor on that head, and heads don't really often get hit from what I've seen, so I'm okay with that. Keep that around. And there's not going to be any difference in the aiming, because these are all in torso sections, so they're all aimed the same. So there's no like upside downside of that. Okay, so we have 3 backup SRM4s. So if we lose one of these guys, we can replace it fairly easily. And yeah, that looks good to me. So it's going to take 6 days. There's probably a couple other things I could improve with higher quality medium lasers. A lot of it just comes down to so here we've already improved. Here we've already improved. Jenner technically could take some, but that's not really a frontline mech for us anymore. We could upgrade the Phoenix Hawk to make it more effective. I probably should do that. Another thing we could do is we could downgrade the machine guns and the fire starter and swap them over to the Phoenix Hawk. Speaking of which, we have a lot of low quality small lasers. Is there a way I can rectify that? According to this, we have 3 already, and I could buy a 4th one, which would give us what we would need. All right, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we'll do some modifications there as well. I mean, we might as well do these changes because we can. So we'll start with the fire starter. I'll probably, if I have other quality 1 machine guns, which I do, I'm going to go ahead and rip out these and put them in the Phoenix Hawk instead. Go ahead and get our details up so we can work carefully. But while we're at it, I'm going to strip out all these low quality small lasers, replace them with the higher quality ones. Why not? Oh, come on. Okay. That's going to take 12 days to do. I like that. Where's the ammo for the machine guns? Did I never give this thing oh, there it is. I was about to say, did I never give this thing ammo? Alright, so you got 1 ton of ammo. So in theory, we've lost a little bit of damage because the machine guns have been downgraded, but it shouldn't be as big of differences. It's not that big of a difference. And that does mean that we can improve the Phoenix Hawk, which we're probably going to be using pretty commonly, much more, so I'll take it. All right, let me this one. Oh. Oh, it hasn't happened yet. Whoops. All right. Looks like we're gonna have to wait a little ways for the Phoenix Hawk change to happen. We could just get the medium lasers in there. That gets some of the work done. Yeah, I'll take that. So we have the ability to do. We'll get part of the job done. And I only have half a ton of machine gun ammo. That's probably a mistake, because I feel like the machine gun's going to run out of ammo real quick. But, oh well. It is what it is. I think it'd take too much modification to get that to work out, so I'll just keep it as is. We could probably downgrade the leg armor a little bit. I don't really want to mess with the right and left torso. I'll keep it as is for now, though. Alright. Okay. That's going to be it for now. Now let's go to where we need to go, which is... depends on how much the jump is. Okay, so we can get here within 20 days. I like that. And it gets us closer to whatever this is. I'm not sure when this is going to trigger. But at least there we get a lot of choices. So travel away. Okay. Much more difficult missions, so that should mean that we can use the drop weight. Who are you? Who is this against? This is against House Davian, which would hurt our relationship here. See, this one we don't know who it's against. That one is definitely against House Kurita. I think we'll go ahead and do this one first, because we don't know who it's really going against, and we can take advantage of our high reputation here right now. Although that being said, it does say in the mission briefing. Oh, right there, target House Kurita. So this is either target House Kurita or target House Davian. Okay, well, in that case... The problem that I'm seeing is we have 10 negotiation points, but I can't actually really spend those points very effectively. Because this one here, BR Shield, I can only spend 6 points. This one, I can spend the 10, but most of that would be into damage coverage, which, in my opinion, is kind of a waste. Whereas here, we don't have very many points to spend, and what have you. I think I'm going to go with this one, though. So intelligence has reported that irreplaceable mech parts for the war effort are being warehoused and are vulnerable to a bold strike. Go and destroy the supplies in those warehouses. So I'll go 4 on money because that's the maximum I can do. Gets us 843,000. We'll go 2 shares, 2 towards shares, which gives us 6 total. And then the rest is just going to have to go on damage coverage. Which is a lot of damage coverage. At 708,000. We have 175 tons of weight. I'm going to see what I can put in this mission, and if it would make sense to hold back the Phoenix Hawk, I will do so. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the Shadowhawk. I'm going to give you the... well, let's hold off. The Panthers have been a very effective mech, so that one we might not use just yet. Although we do have the Blackjack now, and that's actually probably a really good mech for you, honestly. So let's go Blackjack here. Oh, we're already at 175 tons. Okay, so maybe we stick with the Panther then. It's just a matter of where do we stick the weight. So the Blackjack is at 304 armor, which is actually pretty good. Where's the Assassin at? If I can find the Assassin. 256, so it's definitely more survivable than that. Phoenix Hawk is similar armor. In theory, the Blackjack does more damage. It's slower, though, so I do have to put that in consideration. But yeah, these two are the exact same weight, so... Let me go ahead and put the... I want to get the changes on the Phoenix Hawk, so I'm going to think we're going to do the Blackjack here. And then I can upgrade this to the Assassin. And then that's going to be our drop wave. So Shadowhawk, Blackjack, Panther, and Assassin is going to be our drop. So if that's what we're going to drop in with, I'm going to go ahead and do the modifications to the Phoenix Hawk real quick, because why not? So machine guns. Okay, there we go. So start work. Alright, now let's do this contract. So we're more or less ready to go, I think. Let's ready up. Yeah, I must admit, I don't really look at the left section of the contract area. I should probably read that more often. Most of the information you see there isn't all that useful, but knowing what the target is...
Hangar doors opening. Stand clear.
Well, now I know to look there to know that.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online.
I'm stuck in the old school way of doing it with
All
BattleTech, where you have to parse that
systems
from the mission description.
Tasked with an objective raid, targeting a number of warehouses within the area. Our client wants the building and all of its contents destroyed. And
Dropship's kind of in my way right now.
Compensate us for our efforts. We'll contact you with an evac point once all objectives are destroyed.
Can you go away? I can't go anywhere. There we go. Hopefully that's one of the things they changed in the update. We might get the update when I go on my break, so... I have to think about how I want to hit this. We could go this way. Kind of... The other thing I'm thinking of is the one in the upper right corner is kind of like... Oh, well this is just a cliff. Never mind. Maybe there's a way down, but I'm not going to worry about it. We'll go up this way, and we'll hit the one base furthest west first.
Hot and humid. Not for me, no siree.
Target destroyed.
Got another one.
Well, my allies are doing a good job of killing the enemy before I even know they're there. There's an enemy vehicle coming in, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep going towards the mission objective. Alright, this should be the...
Splash target.
Acquired.
Oh, that's not the right button. That didn't kill it.
Target destroyed.
Where's the way down? There should be a way down here.
Enemy eliminated.
Well, I guess I could just kill it from up here, huh?
Target eliminated.
Thank you for that.
Target acquired.
I can't really attack some of these things. Maybe there's a way down over that way. I guess the vehicles are coming up that way. I guess I went a little too far.
Target destroyed.
Hey, we found the way down. Alright, now I can deal with this.
Acquired. Target destroyed. destroyed.
All right.
I got it.
Objective
Okay.
down.
Dead. All right. There's another turret off to the.
Enemy destroyed.
All right. Guess I'll go this way. Because there's another base off this way. Yeah, I don't know. The turrets seem to be fairly light at this point. We got our first mech.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Got him. All right. A lot of vehicles here.
Incoming missile.
All right, let's get going. Allies are just gonna have to deal with. Oh, the assassin has taken a lot of damage.
Target neutralized.
Okay,
Enemy eliminated.
that worries me somewhat.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Ow!
Target destroyed.
Target is down.
I did not appreciate.
Good work, Commander. That's one less target.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Target down.
There's something right on top of me. Turret. All right, where are we at?
Target acquired.
My kill.
Guess we go this way. Okay. Technically, the one on the right, I think, is well. Technically, is left on right on the map, left here. One on the left here is closer, so I guess we just hit that one first. I've taken a decent amount of damage. Ammo, okay. We're doing all right there, but under half.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Oop. Oh. Probably shouldn't just stand there. Come here, you. Oh, you're not allowed to run away.
Target destroyed.
Alright.
Tango down.
Is it this that I have to blow up?
Target destroyed.
Or the building? Alright, I guess the building. Let's get going. Not that far away from the last objective. Question is, how do you get into it?
Target acquired.
More helicopters coming in.
Enemy eliminated.
That one's too high up for me to deal with.
Target down. That's the last of the targets,
Wait, what?
Commander. Now get back here before hostiles converge on your position.
I didn't even go over to the objective. How did we blow it up? Maybe one of my friendlies attacked it from range?
Got another one.
Ah. Forgot which thing was the right button. Oh well. Looks like we're out of this one. The assassin took an alarming amount of damage. I don't know how it did, but...
Cavalry is here, Commander. Prepare for mech extraction.
We might do one more contract and then move on. Not sure which industrial zone I'm going to go to. Alright. So total payout went to over $1 million. We have to get our salvage though yet. So let's go ahead and do value first. Looks like these LRM-10s are going to be it. We have to keep in mind they are high on the share cost though. So from a share standpoint, they actually are not the most efficient way to get money. The more efficient way of getting money would be get these single share LRM-10s. And then the medium lasers. Okay, works for me. Panther didn't do as well on this mission, although it didn't take a lot of damage, as we've seen in the past. I don't know why this assassin took a metric ton of damage. It's hurt almost everywhere. Let's take a look at it. Make sure it's not in dire straits. Doesn't look like it lost anything. Just needs repairs. All right. Yeah, there it is. Blackjack? Yeah, so far it has been generally a very effective mech for us. The sniping with BBC has been really valuable. Alright guys, I think we're close enough to the break time. Pretty much what I'm going to do is look into doing another contract here. I mean, I guess we could figure out what contract we're going to do, and then based off of that. One thing I find very interesting is once you have some time pass, what points you can put where actually changes. So now I can put a lot more points into this and have a little bit more effective use of my points. So in this case, I would put 4 into shares, so we have up to 10 total shares. 5 into pay to max that out up to 878,000, and then just 1 into damage. Although we have been taking more damage recently. And that pretty much be it. Go ahead and accept this one. And then just determine what mechs I'm going to use, and then we'll probably take the break. So, what mechs would I use? Obviously, the ones that are damaged are not really ones I'd want to use, but let's say I use a Centurion myself. The Phoenix Hawk is now ready to go, so we'll use that one there. The Panther is currently kind of out of commission. So, in that case, I guess we're gonna be way underweight, I think, with this one. So I'd have to think. Well, I've already accepted the contract, but probably the Jenner and the Firestarter here. So we'd be down 10 tons, which isn't necessarily a huge amount to be down. This isn't necessarily an ineffective lance. I just don't have as much fire support. Most of this is close-in fire support rather than long-range fire support, which is kind of more what I would expect out of my allies. But in any case, this is probably going to be decent enough.